I made you something.
Oh, I am so excited. Look, it says a certificate of love and appreciation presented to me from Flower Power here on February 13th, 2020, and it is signed by Lata Chetri Kennedy.
And every single person who has been empowered by Susan's teachings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I display this with great pride and pleasure. Lovely.
So Susan's doing a little book reading here. You're going to read the introduction,
want
did
to-
you say?
Well, I just read the introduction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
I
Adam's.
didn't. I
That's
read
Adam's.
the forward, and now
Yes.
I'm just announcing it.
Okay, go right ahead.
I turned down so many introductions. I have to say why I'm actually doing this one. Susan has grit. Made sense at the
Come on in.
made sense at the first gathering of herbalists that I knew that we would gravitate toward each other. We dress as though we have no idea what others are wearing. I noticed, unlike her carriage in our current society, self-confidence.
Now with Johnny Wah, you can't say that anymore.
In our current society, self-confidence with compassion really sticks out. Before I heard the term wise woman, I was prejudiced to think that the word woman meant wise. So here was a woman calling herself a wise woman in a society that seems to be fully disconnected from the idea of wisdom in any form at all, let alone female wisdom. I watched her protect wisdom by insisting on engagement if someone asked her a question. I saw her give wisdom as though it were a precious thing and a fragile thing, needing the protection a mother gives to her children. I went to a long workshop and saw her courage to be controversial and committed to a minority opinion. She insists that each of us has to digest incoming wisdom through our own filter. I saw her have tenderness for other people's opinions, even contradictory ones, especially from healers that she respected. I saw a combination of love, great strength, and sweet softness. I got an invitation to visit her home school where she tends to goats and students. The students are there for her mentorship of all parts of their lives in becoming a wise woman. And I saw the attention she gave both to goat and student, and I wished all of nature and humanity could be so well cared for. She wasn't just easy. I saw tough love. She seemed so devoted to the task of being a mentor that she chose wisdom over being liked, a rarity in many compassionate teachers. All of this swims in my head while I read her new book abundantly well. Whoever you are, you will disagree, even be angry at some of what she says. It's a good experience when reading about such broad subjects, you know? When I look at the many books in my library on these subjects, I wonder, is there a limit to what can be said on health and healing? I mean, Hippocrates' material covered most of it, didn't it? So why am I going to add and be excited to add Susan Weed's book to my library? Because healing is an art form made up of all of one's input and intentions. No two healers or patients are alike. The healer needs to be surrounded by many points of view, conflicting views especially, to keep their intelligence humble and open. In primary care, one quickly finds out how little one really knows. How little you can really cure and how inadequate even the most elaborate and most popular healing techniques are when spread over many patients. We need many voices so that at least one will open the needed doors toward health for each patient. This is especially true in the modern climate of corporate medicine, where patient and healer have so little time to learn or listen to anything. Economics so influences healthcare delivery now that it's a lie to call it a healing interaction, even if it works out great. One good outcome of this pernicious direction has been the patients moving away from a paternalistic, mechanistic surrender to the healer and toward a consideration of self-care. Enter Susan's book. Whichever books you already have, this one will add to them. No paternalism here. Susan leads with the perfect beginning. Do nothing. Relax. First, be with your great self. Of course, ideally, you would not first read it when you're sick, but read it through to take an inventory and have a sense of direction if you need a healing interaction. As a book, all good books on wellness, it doesn't rest on being fully comprehensive. Rather, it's a teaser for just how complicated we might be. Another important thing about Susan is that she invites you to a whole world utopia where your health may be a political act. If we are to find solutions to all the horrors in the world, the solutions, will sprout from wise women. Take charge. In peace, Patch Adams, 3 August 2001. And when the manuscript went out to people, people said, well, do you still even know him? That was what, 20 years ago. So I called up Patch. He was at Camp Win a Rainbow. Yes, Wavy Gravy is still alive, kicking and running Camp Win a Rainbow. And Patch was there. And I said, can you give me another quote to add? And he said, sure. 20 years later, we're still weird. 28 June 2019. And that's when he said that I had to say that he was coming in his professional attire with his underwear hat.
Ah, yes, of course.